Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. I'm really glad you could join the show. Today, we're going to be diving in. We're going to be dissecting exactly how you obtain $50,000 in business credit in 6 months without a personal credit check or without a personal guarantee. We'll probably be running about an hour. I have another show here at 3 o'clock or about an hour from now, so hopefully I know we'll be done before then. And I'm going to be going through and mapping out to you today exactly how you can obtain business credit for your business without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check, and you could do so, I say, in 6 months, but realistically, what I'm about to show you could actually be done in less time than that. So before we get in too deep, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ty Crandall. I'm actually the CEO of CreditSuite. I have CEO there on my screen, but I don't have my company's name for some reason, but I have the logo there, so I guess you could tell. So what we do here at CreditSuite is we help people build business credit. We help people get financing for their business. As a matter of fact, I think if you'll do any research, you'll see that we really oversee the biggest business credit coaching in the country. So we've helped, I don't know, thousands and thousands of people build business credit and get financing. So everything I'm about to teach you today isn't theory. It's not based on what might work. This is exactly how you do this process successfully. Every company that has an EIN can build a credit profile and score for that EIN the exact same as you can build your own personal credit that's linked to your social security number. And during this hour, we're going to go through and dissect exactly how this process works. So first of all, what is business credit? How does it work? Well, when we talk about business credit, what we're talking about here is credit that is obtained in a business name. And this credit is basically linked to the business EIN number. So it's a credit profile and it's a credit score that's established and built for the business, not the business owner. Now, it's pretty interesting because we do a lot of advertising on Facebook, and I'll see people come in with all kinds of crazy comments that for some reason just doesn't believe or don't believe this is possible. But not only is business credit possible, it's essential. As you're going to see here, I'll even show you an official denial today from a bank that deals with merchant cash advances due to business credit. And if you do any research, you'll see SBA has a lot out about business credit, its importance. They even look at your business credit profile before they'll even think about lending you a business or an SBA loan, especially a 7A loan. So just as you have a social security number, your business has an EIN number, and business credit is the building of credit profile and score for that actual business. So once this credit profile is built, then what happens is the business can start getting credit. The business can start getting financing. The exact same as your consumer credit profile and score. You started with nothing, then you went and got maybe a secured credit card or somebody co-signed for you on a loan. Then as you built your credit up, you're eventually able to get a mortgage and get a car loan and get very high limit credit cards. Well, the exact same thing is possible in a business. A business can get auto leases. A business can get commercial real estate. A business can get credit cards with high limits linked to the EIN, not the actual business owner's social security number. So again, this business credit is in the business name and it's based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owners. This is why in the actual title, I'm telling you, look, you can get this without a personal credit check, because when you build business credit the right way, then what's happening is you're getting credit based on the business's ability to pay. So credit issuers and lenders pull your business credit profile. They see that your business has credit established. They see that your business pays the credit is agreed. And the result is your business is then able to get more credit and financing based on its own ability to pay, not yours. So because of this, you can get this based on your EIN without you needing to supply your social security number. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you today exactly how you could do this process, not even putting the social security number on the application. And as you already know, if they don't have your social, they can't pull your credit. So when you build business credit, that's really one of the keys, is you don't want to supply your social on the app. You want them to force them to actually pull your EIN credit. So since the business qualifies for credit, in most cases, there is no personal credit check, as I just mentioned, from you, the actual business owner. And I say most because that's your choice. You can decide whether or not you put your social on the application or whether or not you don't. And if you apply for any kind of credit and you put your social on the app along with your EIN number, you're supplying a personal guarantee, or what we call a PG. If you don't put your social security number on the application, they can't pull your personal credit. You're not supplying a PG. They're not even able to pull your personal credit report and score. So the business can use this credit to qualify for revolving store credit like Staples, Lowe's, Sam's Club, Costco, BP, Walmart, Best Buy. Look, I could list almost every major retailer, whether you're talking about Chevron, Sunoco, whether you're talking about Target. Every one of these sources offers business credit the same as they do consumer credit cards. So almost every major retailer offers business credit, most of them without a personal guarantee. Then you've also got what we refer to as cash credit. Now, cash credit really has to do with MasterCard. It has to do with Visa, has to do with American Express. These are cards you can use anywhere. So you can get a Sam's Club Visa card that is cash credit, and you could use it at Costco if you want to. So cash credit you could really use anywhere, and then store credit is, of course, available in the stores that you actually are obtaining the individual card through. So the business can also qualify for credit lines, loans, auto vehicle leasing, commercial real estate, and much more using business credit. As a matter of fact, when it comes to real estate investors, they love business credit because it can be used for so many different purposes. So just as I said, just like you can use your social to build up to get high limit credit cards, loans for an automobile, loans for a home, you could do the same thing in the business world, except you're not buying a personal home. Obviously, you're buying commercial real estate. You're not buying a vehicle in your personal name, you're getting a vehicle linked to your EIN. So your business credit can be used for all of these type of things. As a matter of fact, I actually just purchased a car last week for my wife. And this was one of the questions they asked me is, do you want this in your name or do you want this in your business name? So again, business credit can be used for many of the same purposes you use consumer credit for. Just the difference is that you're using it for the benefit. So there's a lot of benefits to business credit. And one is that it has no effect whatsoever on your personal credit. So first of all, it's not based on your personal credit quality. So whether you have a 750 credit score or a 450 credit score, you could still build business credit and get the exact same amount of money. So even if you have horrible credit, you're still able to use business credit, build it the right way, and get approved as just as much money as somebody that has great credit. Why is this possible? Because again, you're not even supplying your social. They don't even know what your personal credit quality is. It's not even factored in to the actual decision. Plus, there's no inquiries when you apply. You've heard before that if you put a bunch of inquiries on your credit report, your credit scores are going to be lower. That's absolutely true. 10% of your FICO score is made up of inquiries. If you go out and get a bunch of new credit in a short period of time, you put inquiries on your credit report, that lowers your scores. Okay. Another part of your FICO score is called utilization. This is 30% of your total credit score. This is why you really should care about business credit, if for no other reason, this one reason alone. So here's how utilization works. Think of it like this. On your FICO score, 35% of your score is how you pay. It's based on payment history. 30% of your score, almost the equal amount, is utilization, the percentage of the high credit limit that you're using. So what a lot of people try to do is they try to use personal credit cards to fund their business, and then they run into massive problems. Because the minute you owe more than 30% of your limit, so if you have a $1,000 limit credit card, the minute you owe more than $300 or 30% of that limit, you tank your scores. You lower them severely. I've seen people put $100, not a few $100s. It was about $200 to $300 on a credit card, okay, and lower their scores over 100 points because they didn't have a lot in credit limits. They overutilized them, and it actually kept them from getting a home loan until they paid it down. So this is what happens in the real world. If you utilize more than 30% of your limits, you tank your scores. Well, your personal limits are much lower than business limits because they weren't designed to fund a business. So if you start to use your personal credit to fund your business, you tank your scores. Then when you try to go get money, you can't do so. So with business credit, this is another benefit, is that there is no credit reported on your consumer credit report for your business. Therefore, you could max it out if you wanted to, and your personal credit wouldn't drop even 1 point because none of it reports to the personal credit reporting agencies. Another benefit of business credit is there's no personal guarantee. There's no liability. Look, as entrepreneurs, we like to think we're never going to fail, but statistically, 90% of entrepreneurs do. And what happens is when debt collectors, when you fail in a business and you use credit like your personal credit that you personally guarantee, or you use other money, get money in your business that you personally guarantee, here's what happens. The debt collector goes after all the business assets and all of your assets. And more than likely, if the business is going out of business, it has no personal assets, but guess what? You still do. So they come after your stocks, they come after your 401k, they come after any and all assets you have, your car, your home, everything, to get back the money they're owed. Okay, this is very realistic. As a matter of fact, I think last year at a live presentation I did where I talked about this, a lady came up to me in tears and talked about how she was in the collection industry and it made her feel so bad that she had to go through this process and take people's homes, empty their bank accounts. But that is what the collection process is. And it's something you want to avoid if you have a choice. And with business credit, you have a choice because you don't have that guarantee. Another reason to care about this is that anyone can see your business credit reports. I mean, anyone. In the consumer world, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, there's something called permissible purpose. Somebody has to have your permission to pull your personal credit report. No such thing in the business world. Anybody on this call, I can pull your credit report. It takes me about 2 minutes to do, and it's more cheap than you'll ever even know it is because we have special arrangements with the reporting agencies, as a lot of people do. Your competitors, your prospects, your clients, anybody that wants to pull your credit report can do so, and they judge you based on what's on your report. So if you don't have established credit and you're trying to be a legitimate business, pass yourself off to customers and clients as a legitimate business, you're going to lose people without even knowing about it because they're doing simple, basic, cheap research on your company and realizing that you're not even established. And again, it's just like you being a consumer not having established credit, trying to go out and do big things. It's kind of hard to do. In the business world, same thing. You're only going to get so far without having it established because so many people can see your report. Plus, business credit can be built fast because the way the credit scoring works is in the consumer world, as I mentioned, the FICO score has 5 different components. It deals with payment history. It deals with new inquiries. It deals with length of credit history, how long you've had credit. It deals with the credit mix, the amount of mortgages and car loans you have on your credit report. So the problem is because of factors like credit mix that want you to have mortgages, that want you to have car loans, because of factors like length of credit history, which is one of the biggest factors of your FICO score. Those are things you really can't control. And they're designed where it takes you years and years of well-disciplined borrowing to ever really get really good scores and be able to get lots and lots of money quickly. But in the business world, it's much different. The main score in our world is called the PAYDEX score. And with the PAYDEX score, it's actually based on only one factor, how you pay your bills. Super cool, because all you have to do to get really high credit limits quickly is pay your bills on time. And I'm going to show you how to do this. You get some vendor accounts, you pay them as agreed, then they report in about 30 to 60 days. Once they report, you instantly have an excellent score as long as you paid the bill as agreed. Then you use that excellent score to apply for more and more credit. They see you have an excellent score. They see you have trade lines. They approve you for more and more credit. So you can build business credit super, super fast. How fast? I'm going to show you how to get off of this show and actually come in and get vendor credit immediately when you're done. It takes about a month to 2 months for that to report. Once that actually reports, then you'll be able to move in and get store credit immediately thereafter. Once that reports, then about a month or 2 months, you could start getting cash credit. So you can go with a 450 credit score. You can come in and get about $10,000, $15,000 in vendor credit or more right away. You can get about $10,000, $20,000 or more in store credit within 60 days. You can get about 20,000 more in cash credit within 4 months total. And again, what I'm also going to do is after this event later on today, I'm going to go ahead, and I do not know exactly what happened there at all. My PowerPoint just for some reason shut down. So what I'm going to do after this, probably later tonight and tomorrow, I'll send you a link to a webinar we did not very long ago where we actually had some of our clients on and they talked about the real success they had and they mapped out, this is how much money we got. This is how fast we got it. So you don't take my word for it. So you can hear from real people that have been through a business credit building process to see what they accomplished in the time frame they accomplished it, so you can see how fast it truly is. So it also, another benefit is you can have both consumer and business credit at the same place. So if you walk into Walmart today and you get a credit card, you can't walk in tomorrow and go, I want another credit card, and then give you another one. It doesn't work that way. Almost all major retail stores, if you have a credit card with them, they're not going to give you more and more and more credit cards with them. But in the business world, you could do that because I can walk into Walmart and get a consumer credit card today. I could walk in tomorrow and get a business credit card. I could walk into Walmart, or I could walk into Target. I could walk into any retail store, Sam's Club, Costco, and do the same thing. Get a consumer credit card, try to get another one. They'll tell me no, but I could get a consumer credit card and a business credit card. So it really gives you almost double the borrowing ability because you get multiple cards at the same place. And per SBA, credit limits on business credit accounts are about 10 to 100 times higher of that than consumer credit. This makes a lot of sense. You're probably never going to need $10,000 at Dell. okay? But realistically, because you're not going to buy $10,000 worth of home computers, but your business could easily use $10,000 worth of home computers. I actually just had a client the other day that emailed me, and he got $6,000 at Apple. And he's about 2 or 3 months into the business credit building process. $6,000 at Apple. There's nowhere else you're going to get a $6,000 Apple credit card, especially if you have consumer credit issues. But in the business world, that's very, very, very feasible. Limits are very high on business credit accounts because businesses have a much greater appetite and need for credit limits than a consumer does. So for example, here is that gentleman. Actually, I just got this email. You could see it's pretty recent. It was about 2 weeks ago. Here's his actual email for me. I think hopefully I took his email out of this. I think I did. So here's an actual approval from him at Apple. Hey, Ty, can you believe this? I'm crushing it. 10,000. I was wrong. He got 10,000 at Apple. 10,000 at Apple, all into the business name, no PG. On Friday, we're going to crush it. And he's actually in this program, unsecured business financing, which I'll tell you a couple things about this email. At top, you can see here that he got $6,000 from Amazon on Friday. Now, Tuesday, he got $10,000. This is somebody that's a few months into the process. He's about 60 days into the process. He's following the steps. Now he's got $6,000 on Friday. Now he's got $10,000 at Apple. At the bottom of the email, you can actually see from Apple themselves, congratulations, you have $10,000 through Apple. Have you ever had a $10,000 Apple credit card? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. This is starter credit in our world. This isn't even high level, been doing it for a year credit. This is something that you're going to see in the early stages of building business credit. And he's also talking about a UBF program, which he actually did get that too. That's a funding program where he actually ended up getting about $75,000 in funding on top of getting business credit. But on his business credit alone, he got $6,000 on Amazon on Friday, and on Tuesday, this was $10,000 from Apple. And you can see, again, this is pretty recent, just to kind of give you an idea of what's possible with the high limit accounts. There's no collateral requirements. You know, any kind of SBA loan, you're going to need collateral. Most high-level loans you do, not with business credit. You don't need cash flow. The most common type of financing out right now is called cash advances or revenue financing. You've got to have cash flow. You've got to prove it with your bank statements. Not in our world. You don't need that to actually get approved for business credit, nor do you need good credit. We talked about how your credit's not even used, how your social's not even pulled. Now, let me tell you what's interesting about this. This is only possible right here. I have people call me all the time and they email me and they say, I want money. I need 20 grand. I need 10 grand. I need $50,000. And let me tell you what it takes to get approved for financing. One of these three things. There's no funding source that exists in the business world that will give you a loan unless you have one of these three things. If you have one, we have all kinds of specialty lenders that'll help you through the alternative lending side to get financing. But if you have no collateral, no cash flow, and your credit is bad, you will not get a loan anywhere. But in the business credit world, you can get this. You can get the $6,000 at Amazon, the 10 grand at Apple, the $10,000, $20,000 Visa, MasterCard, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of those type of accounts. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of credit in the business world without needing these things, whereas anywhere else, it's not possible. This is why I love business credit. It's a catch-all. It's the only financial solution you're going to find when you don't have one of these. And even if you do have one or all of these, then it's also going to help you get much better terms on financing and get more financing as a result of having business credit. You don't need financials. You don't need bank statements for approval at all. These things aren't looked at. And it's much easier to get funding when you have it. Look, if you have business credit, you have a much better chance of getting loans. And here's what happens. There's no Fair Credit Reporting Act in the consumer world. So what happens is lenders pull your credit every time you apply for financing for the business. Whenever you apply for a business credit card, they pull your business credit, but they don't tell you that. See, in the consumer world, they pull your personal credit. They have to tell you. They have to say, hey, man, here's the deal. I turned you down because I pulled TransUnion and I saw this on your TransUnion report and I denied you. If you've ever been denied credit, then you've got that kind of letter. The Fair Credit Reporting Act requires the credit issuer send that letter. There's no requirements in the business world. So all these lenders pull your business credit. They turn you down because of it, and you never even actually know it's happening. And if you do get approved, if you have good business credit, it determines the terms that you get. So if you want low interest rates, long terms, you have to have established business credit. If you're trying to get long-term, low interest rate loans for your business and you don't even have a credit profile and score established, then it's impossible to do so. It's the same as you trying to go in and get a ridiculously low rate long-term mortgage when you have horrible personal credit or no personal credit. You can't do it. But in the business credit world, when you have established personal or business credit, then it gets you access to financing more than you'll ever get, and better terms. So here, this is directly per SBA, and I'll show you the page on their website I actually got this from so you can see it. So if you're not sure about the credibility of business credit, this is exactly what SBA is talking about. Why small businesses should manage their business credit. Small business owners or entrepreneurs are successful because their ideas, their passion, their drive. They generally aren't accountants. And as a result, they're often unaware of just how important actively managing business credit is to their success. Small business owners agree that cash flow management is one of our top concerns. Actively managing their business credit can help small businesses ensure positive cash flow by securing more financing at better terms. Good credit can ensure that small businesses get financing when they need it. According to the SBA, insufficient or delayed financing is the second most common reason for business failure. And since most loan decisions below $100,000 are automated, the business credit file will often dictate the amount and terms of a loan. For business with poor credit ratings, top national banks may increase credit cards interest rates on average from 9 to 18% and loan interest rates on average from 8 to 12%. Guys, this is SBA. This is not even me. I'll show you. Boom. Here's the exact link, the exact page you can get access to what I just read to you. SBA.gov/content/managing-your-business-credit. I read that because some people are listening on the podcast and not able to see it. This is exactly from SBA. So not only is SBA telling you you got to have it, but here's exactly what will happen on the rates and terms if you actually don't have it. Let me show you something else. Here's a real denial. Got this today in my email. Now, what I did was I took out the first part of the company name and I just put an X just so for privacy reasons. But you can see here, this is On Deck. On Deck is the leading alternative lender that deals with revenue financing, cash advances. These are 25 to 45% rate loans, the highest risk loans you can get in the business lending space. Dear Dex, he's one of our finance officers, thank you for submitting your application. We're disappointed to report we're not able to approve your client for financing for the following reasons. Below required business credit scores. Okay, we're required to notify them of the decision, Here's a real denial that just came across my email today from a merchant cash advance lender, one of the highest risk types of business financing you can get, where the company got denied for one reason and one reason only. Below required business credit scores. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's used everywhere, even on high-risk merchant advances, even when you go into your bank, whenever you apply for financing, they're going to look at your business credit. It's used to make the underwriting approval decision. So a business starts building a brand new credit profile the same as a consumer does. You start with no credit profile. You then get approved for new credit that reports to the business reporting agencies. Then you use the credit, you pay the bills. Okay, a positive credit profile is then established because you paid your bills. Okay, and then as you continue to use credit and pay your bills timely, you qualify for more and more and more credit. So the very first step of this, when it start building business credit, you won't have any yet established. That means you're starting from nothing whatsoever. So because of this, you're also not going to be supplying your social. Excuse me while I take a quick drink of water. So let's think about this. You're applying for money, for credit. You have no credit profile you're supplying to them. You're not supplying your social. So this means that the only thing credit issuers can use to determine your approval is your application. So when you have no credit and you're not supplying your social, you're forcing them to make their decision based on what's on your application or nothing else. So because of this, everything on your application has to reflect that you have a legitimately set up credible business. So first, you've got to set up an actual entity for your business. Now, many entities, and what I mean by an entity is I mean a partnership, I mean an LLC, I mean a corporation. So many entities by default make you personally liable because they're set up as you and the business being one and the same. So a sole proprietorship and partnership are examples of this. You want to avoid sole proprietorships. You want to avoid partnerships because you are the business in those scenarios and you'll always be liable for what happens. And excuse my image being all messed up here. Okay, this is why you want to choose an LLC or corporation. When you choose an LLC or corporation, you're not liable for what happens in your business. You're separate from your business. So these are the best entities to actually choose. Okay, now with an LLC or corporation, you and the business are separate from each other, so your liability can be separated. You could choose either an S or a C corporation. It makes no difference for business credit building purposes which you choose. Just so you know, the main difference between the S and the C is that your profits and loss from an S corporation roll right onto your personal taxes. And if you have a C corporation, then the corporation's completely different. None of it rolls over to your personal taxes. And I'm not a tax accountant, so I won't tell you here, but what I will tell you is that if you're usually a smaller business, an S usually works fine. As you get bigger, you kind of need a C. One of the problems with the C is that you're paying taxes twice. The corporation has to pay taxes, then you pay individual taxes. With an S, the business rolls right over to you, so you're really only paying taxes once. So the only time you ever really, a lot of people in my experience do a C corporation is because you get so big that it's just kind of needed at that point. So you must set up an EIN number. It's free to get. You can go right here. Okay, you could just Google EIN number and go to any link that starts with irs.gov. Do not go to any other link that is not irs.gov, because if you do, then what will happen is you'll sometimes pay for it and you don't need to. So here's me Googling get an EIN number. You can see here, these top two will charge you for something you can get for free. And they try to make it look like it's government, right? EINnumber.co, federal EIN number, fed.ein.com. They're especially trying to make themselves look official, so you'll pay them money for something that's for free. But if you go down to organic and look at number one, obtaining an EIN number, irs.gov, apply for EIN number, irs.gov, go to that irs.gov to make sure that you get that for free. Okay, so in setting up a credible business, you should also set up your business bank account, even though it's not directly needed to get business credit. And here's an actual link. You can go to CreditSuite, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CreditSuite. You can search for how to set up a business bank account, and you'll find a webinar I did on this, 10 business bank account hacks to properly set up and manage your business bank account. I don't have all, I did a whole hour on this, so I can't jump into a lot of that. But if you want to know some cool insider tricks to getting your bank account set up, just go to YouTube and search for how to set up a business bank account, or go to our channel and you'll find this exact actual video and get some more details on that. So you got to set up your business address. It can't be it has to be a physical address. It cannot be a PO box, cannot be UPS address. You can use a virtual address. There's a company called Regis. Regis has a really good virtual address solution, but you can't use a home address at all. PO box, UPS, those are things you just can't do. You also can't use the address of another business, because business credit is linked to your EIN number, also your address. So if you're entering another business's address, you could very well have their business credit roll onto your profile and yours roll onto theirs. Not obviously what you want to have happen. So you need a physical address of some sort. If you try to go apply for business credit with a home address on the application, you're not supplying your social, you have no business credit established, they're going to look at you as non-credible and very well get you denied. Okay, you want to set up a business phone number as well. Can't use home phone, can't use cell phone. You can use a virtual phone number. Okay, Google has these Ring Central type of solution, pretty cheap, 10, 15, less than 20 bucks a month. And you can get a fax number set up too. Ring Central, they'll make your phone number your fax number. It's like less than 15 bucks a month last time I checked. So it's really cheap to do that. And get a toll-free number set up as well. On the application, they very well might want a local number, want a toll-free, want a fax. Every line on the application you want filled out, you don't want to leave blank. So you can get all three of these from most virtual address solutions. You don't necessarily need a local number unless like you're a pizza delivery company that's only doing local business. But you should have a toll-free number, you should have a fax number, and you've got to get your phone number listed with 411. It's an absolute must. And unfortunately, I hate to tell you, there is a cost for this. You can't just go to 411 and get it listed. If you go to a company like List Yourself, which is a company we use and we pay for all of our clients to use, they charge the equivalent of like $300 a year just for your phone number to be listed with 411. But I'm saving you a lot of time by telling you where to go instead of you trying to figure that out on your own. You got to have a professional website set up. You've got to set up a professional email address as well. Okay, you can't use partydude2016 at Yahoo. Like, you've got to have, like, my email address is ty@creditsuite.com. That's the professional email address that's linked to our domain. These are really cheap to do, by the way. You can go to GoDaddy. You can get a website for 12 bucks. You'll get the email address with it. Then you can go to a place like monstertemplate.com, get a website template put together. Even go to a company like Fiverr.com, Fiverr, and have somebody put up your website for you. So not expensive to do, but you got to do it. You also got to make sure you have the proper licensing for your industry, your county, your state. And you also want to make sure that you set up your business listing. So there are places that you want to make sure that your actual business is listed. Okay. And when you do this, you need to make sure that all the information on your listings is congruent. You've got to make sure that like Yelp has the same information about your business as the BBB. And here's the reason for that, because lenders are going to look, credit issuers are going to do research, and they want to make sure that like everything is congruent. When they start to see an address here that's different than this, and a name here that has ink and a name here that doesn't, then they think things get kind of sketchy and they'll deny you. So you've got to make sure that information is congruent. And that means your business essentials should be the same no matter where someone looks. Your business name, your business address, your business phone number. It needs to be the same no matter where somebody looks for your business. Okay, and here's some other items that you just need to make sure are congruent. Your business name, your business address, the business phone and fax number, your website and email address, your licenses, your EIN, your DUNS number, your corporate documents, all the stuff that you have out there in cyberspace, you need to make sure is exactly the same. Because when lenders and credit issuers look and it's not the same, they deny you. I mean, it is so crazy, but this is one of the #1 reasons that people get denied for SBA loans. They spend a month getting their documents together. They go in their bank with this big packet. The very first thing the lender does is look online for that company. And sometimes they can't find them because the company has a DBA, or they put incorporated on their application and their name all over the web doesn't have incorporated. And because of it, lenders deny you before they even get into the meat of all the documentation you sent. So you've got to make sure that this stuff's congruent. It's one of the biggest reasons for actual denials. So make sure you exist online and that your name is listed in as many places as you can get online. 411, the BBB, Super Pages, Yellow Book, YP.com, Yellowbot, Google, Yahoo, Bing. Google, Yahoo, and Bing all have really cool services that are free for small businesses to get your business listed. So you should at least go to those three, 411, if nothing else. Yelp, Mana, Merchant Circle, or some others that you might care about. Express, Update, DexKnows. DMB Verified has one service that you can get and pay for, or it's free if you're a veteran. And they'll actually list your information everywhere, like in a bunch of different sources. So it's your choice. Like I hired a virtual assistant and went through and had them go to all these different places to make sure our business was set up and listed the right way. I could have also got DMB Verified. I probably still will because I'm a veteran and it's free for me. And I can go in there and have DMB do it as a service, but there's a cost if you're not a veteran, just so you know, for that service. YouTube.com Credit Suite. You can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com Credit Suite, and you can type "Get Your Business Listed," and you'll see this video. Get your business listed correctly to meet credit issuer and lender credibility approval standards. Again, I just don't have the time to go through everything you should know about getting your business listed. But here's a resource. It's an hour-long webinar where we talk about how to get everything listed, where to go, everything you need to know so you can get more details on that. So you've got your credibility set up, your address, your website, your name. It's all set up. You're listed online. They can find you. All of this makes sense. So the next step is that you want to get and review your business credit reports. So Dun Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian Business, sometimes they're referred to as Equifax or Experian Commercial. Guys, here's some actual credit from some of the biggest privately and publicly owned companies that are out there, just so you know everybody has it. You can see how they have trade lines. Apple, 138 trade lines. Facebook has 40. Dell, 83. 513 is Walmart. Walmart's big on business credit. As a matter of fact, most of what Walmart buys and puts on their stores, they buy with business credit first. Then you as the consumer buy the product. They take your money and use it to pay their business credit. So Walmart's a gleaming example of why you use business credit. They've got to be the #1 retailer in the world because they use their business credit. Publix, 171 trade lines, 131 from Microsoft. Pilot, 153. Here's Mars and Company. Mars Incorporated is one of the largest companies, privately owned companies in the United States. They have 22 trade lines. Now, here's what's interesting. Here's 2 of our clients that just started. Here's one with 8. Here's the one I told you that I would actually send you the webinar playback for. They've been doing this for about a year now. They have 14 trade lines. Think about this. A company, they just started. They have 14 trade lines on their Experian. Mars Incorporated, one of the largest privately owned companies in the country, has 22. So they have nearly as many, like whatever that is, like 60, 70% as much as one of the biggest privately owned companies in the country. So it really just goes to show you that you absolutely can do this the same as the big boys do. You just got to know the steps we're talking about here. And here's actually a testimonial from where they talk about exactly what happened. They went to get a bank loan. They basically didn't. They came in, we got started with CreditSuite, set up our business credibility, built our business credit. And after following the steps, we've now secured over 96 grand in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum American Express and got approved. They now have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to get us money. And that's a really good problem to have. We're excited. If you don't have business credit yet, you should. So I'm not going to, spend a lot of time on this because I'll send you a whole hour where they map out not just the success they have, but they tell you the time frame. They tell you, I got approved for this credit card. This is the ones I applied for first. Here's how much of the limits they gave me. I applied for these next. I applied for these next. So you can actually hear the real success of how you can accomplish and what you can accomplish in what time period. So now we've made sure you're set up credibly. We've got your actual business credit reports and fixed any inaccuracies. The next step is that now that you're credible and you've got your reports corrected, you can start building business credit. No, you cannot just walk into stores or your bank to start getting credit. Some people say that. They go, Ty, I went into my bank. I went into Staples and tried to get a credit card and I gave them my EIN only and they told me no. Well, of course they told me no. If you went in to try to get a Staples credit card or a bank credit card with no personal credit, they would tell you no as well. But if you walked into your bank or Staples with 10 trade lines and paid as agreed accounts, well, then they would approve you. The key is that you got to have credit before you walk into stores and cash credit sources. Stores and lenders just are not going to issue credit to people or businesses that have no credit established. You've got to have some established first. So the very first thing you're going to do before you apply for store credit is to establish an initial business credit profile and score. And you're going to do that through what we call our vendor accounts. Now, these are creditors who will give you initial credit even when you have absolutely none right now. Their terms are usually like net 15 to net 60. So here's what happens. You go into a company like Quill. They'll let you buy office supplies on net 30 terms, which means you have 30 days to pay back what you borrow. If you borrow $500 and you go in and you say, I want $500 worth of office supplies, you use your credit, then you're going to owe that $500 back within 30 days. That's what net 30 means. So you got to pay off that whole amount within that time period. That's what those net accounts are. Now, some vendors that will help you get started initially are Quill, Uline. There's a company called Monopolize Your Marketplace. They used to have a pretty cheap CD program. Now they don't. Some of their stuff is more expensive than it ever has been, but it's because they know they've got gold because they report to the business credit reporting agencies. Gimplers is another one. So these companies sell stuff that you need. They sell office supplies. They sell shipping supplies. Okay, now here's what you need to know. Over 95% of trade vendors do not report to the business credit reporting agencies. So what happens here is that most people you have credit with now for your business, they don't report it. That's the problem. That's also why you have to get your business credit reports first, because you need to see, are they reporting it or are they not reporting it? You need to see that. The only way you're going to do so is to get your business credit reports. And what you're going to find is that most people you think you might have credit with don't report to the reporting agencies. This is actually another email I got about Monopolize Your Marketplace. I got this just last week from Mike. Mike, thank you very much for sending this info in. First, the Monopolize Your Marketplace company said they don't sell the CD bundle anymore. Second, I got approved for a $1,000 credit line with Chevron with a secured deposit of $300, and that's in my business name and no personal guarantee. So I'm very blessed to have really cool people like Mike send me updates and email their progress and tell me what's going on. I'd appreciate if you do the same. And here's some good information. This is why I like it when people communicate with me this way. This way I can pass it on to you. So Monopolize Your Marketplace. You can't buy the cheaper CD products they used to have, but that's a pretty good idea of going to Chevron and getting a $1,000 credit line with a $300 deposit with no PG. Chevron's actually the 5th account. And again, my apology that this picture's in the way. I've got approved. Following the steps you've listed, I have Uline, Global Industry, and now Chevron. And Seton, he put Seton on here as well. And this is just the icing on the cake. So here's another person that's followed the exact same steps. They've now come in as a result. They've got 5 accounts right away just from starting. And I just gave you even more than I just listed with Seton and Chevron, some more places you can actually go. Okay, so you've got to have 5 of these accounts reporting to start getting store credit. And it's going to take 30 to 90 days for these accounts to report, 60 days on average. Now, again, that webinar I'm going to send you as a follow-up to this. And you can also find it on our YouTube channel. I think if you go to Business Credit Success Story, you'll find the samples webinar. They tell you exactly how long it took them to get each kind of card. But in our experience, it takes about 2 months to get credit. And again, you'll find I have a tendency to kind of under promise and over deliver. So what will happen is if you expect 60 days, you're going to start to actually see accounts reported as soon as 30 days, but just expect 30 to 90 days and know on average they happen in 60 days. It could even start to happen as fast as 30 days from when you get the credit, use the credit, pay the bill for them to actually report. Do not apply for store credit without having 5 accounts. You have to. Somebody just emailed me today and said, hey, look, I have 2 accounts on my report now. What do I need to do to take a next step? Well, you got to have 5 to move on to store credit. So on to the next step. After you have 5 accounts, then you can start to get store credit cards. Almost all stores we talk about offer no personal guarantee business credit cards. Here's some from our finance suite. If I have time before I'm done here, I'll actually show you our finance suite. I'll even show you more than just this. But here's some stores from our actual business credit building system that you can get. Amazon, Tiger Direct, Staples, Sherwin-Williams, AutoZone, Lowe's, Industrial Supply, Macy's, ABC. Here's more. Chevron, BP, Sears, Lowe's, Dell, Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, Tractor Supply. So these are just some of the many, many stores. As I said, most major retail stores offer business credit. And if I have time, I'll show you even some more of those. And this is kind of the stuff you need to know. This is what's cool about working with us is that we have all this information. So for example, for Racetrack to qualify, you've got to have an EIN. You've got to have a DUNS number. You need a Paydex score of 78. All that means is that you pay your bills as agreed. If you pay your bills on time, you get an 80 Paydex. That's all that means. They prefer 3 years in business. But again, if you come down to our description, if you're not 3 years old, there are exceptions. If you have a strong credit profile, you can get approved without the PG. So again, that's the way a lot of it is. Some companies like Home Depot or Racetrack they want you to be in business in 3 years. But if you have trade lines and more vendor accounts and revolving accounts there, they don't have this requirement. And a lot of stores like Amazon don't even care if you're in business for 3 years. So now that you've got that done, now that you've got the store accounts, then next you can move on to the next step. Now keep in mind, store credit has massive value. People ask me all the time, how long does it take to build my business credit? How long does it take you to build your consumer credit? If you think about it, it's a never-ending process. It's ongoing. But again, the time frame is you can get vendor accounts immediately. They report within 60 days. Then you get store credit, massive value. Would it help you to have $10,000 at Apple and $6,000 at Amazon and $5,000 gas card? So there's a lot of value from store credit. Don't rush so fast to get the cash credit that you don't respect the value of getting the actual store credit. So getting a $10,000 Apple, a $6,000 Amazon, a $12,000 Walmart card, okay, these have a lot of value and can really help you grow your business. And when you listen to that, the samples example, they came in and went from nothing and built a $1 million plus accounting franchise using vendor and store credit to buy their supplies, their furniture, all that type of stuff, then use the cash credit to really grow. Okay, so you've got to allow 60 days for those store credit accounts to actually report. It takes 10 total accounts to move to the next step of actual cash credit. So with 10 accounts, you move on to Visa, MasterCard type cash credit. American Express is harder to get. Like they usually do want you to be in business 3 years or have tons of trade lines. So you're going to focus on Visa and MasterCard first before Amex. Discover does offer business credit, but no longer without a personal guarantee. This could change. If you're watching this as a replay, this just was last year that they just did this. So this is why we're here, because all this stuff rapidly changes in the environment. Right now, Discover stopped offering no personal guarantee credit last year, but they very well might come back into the space. Sam's Club and Home Depot. I just gave you 2 very good sources for commercial credit. They both offer credit cards that you could use anywhere. You could get a Sam's Club card and use it at Costco. You could get a Home Depot commercial card. You could use it at Lowe's. So there's a couple sources of no personal guarantee cash credit, but even your bank, there's a lot of sources out there that will offer you no personal guarantee cash credit once you're to this point of having 10 accounts reporting, and that gives you 10 trade lines. Okay, if you're willing to supply a personal guarantee, well, then there's other options too. So if you come in and say, hey, look, man, this is all great, but I have good credit. I have a good credit partner, and I don't mind getting a personal guarantee to get things going faster. Well, then that's when that UBF program comes in. You heard that testimonial earlier on where he said, I'm on the UBF to get 50 grand. We actually got 75,000 in unsecured because he had a credit partner that had good credit. So again, everything I've told you thus far has nothing to do with your personal credit. But if you come to me and say, hey, look, I want to expedite my business credit building and I have a partner or I have good credit, well, then you can get this program that's out there called unsecured business program financing. And this is pretty cool because then they're going to look at your personal credit for approval, but they report it to the actual business credit reporting agencies. You could easily get 25 to 150 grand in 3 weeks or less. They report it to the business credit building agencies. So it helps you build business credit in the process. And they give you like 0% APR for 6 to 18 months. Only reports to the business reporting agencies, so you can get money quickly while building your business credit. Now, again, I know everything I've told you so far has nothing to do with your personal credit. I wanted to at least include this funding program in there, just so you know that if you do happen to have good credit or have a good credit partner, you can expedite your business credit building and get like 25 to 150 grand right away and build your business credit faster in the process. It's a pretty cool program. We're pretty fond of it. There's less than 10 lenders out there that offer it. And again, it expedites that business credit building. So if you follow these steps, you can have an excellent business credit profile within 60 days. Okay, then you'll start to get high limit store accounts, and we saw real examples of that, 6 to 10,000 at places like Amazon and Apple, which are pretty cool places to get money. You can get cash credit within 120 days. That's 4 months. Why does it take 4 months? That's how long it takes it to report. Remember, you got the vendor credit first. It took 60 days. Then you got store credit. It took 60 days for that to get reported. That's the only reason it takes 120 days is because you got to get the credit, use the credit, pay the bill, and then it takes about 2 months to report. And all of this I've showed you is without the personal guarantee or without a personal credit check, except for that UBF program, that last program I showed you. Everything I've told you is exactly it. So now you kind of have a map here. You know exactly what it takes to go from no credit to actually getting cash credit without being collateral, without cash flow. Even as a startup, you can follow these exact steps and get business credit without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. Now, just so you know, okay, you're not alone. I mean, that's what we help you do too. So I've mapped out, our YouTube channel has a ton of information that will teach you how to do this, but you don't have to feel like you can actually or need to do this alone, because that's actually what we do. We can help you build your business credit if by any chance you're interested. Okay, we actually have the best technology, and I told you if I had a chance, I would show you. I still have a little bit of time, so I'll probably dive into that. And we have a good step-by-step process to do this. And the cool thing about seeing what I'm going to show you here is that you'll see a lot more store credit and credit sources too. So even if you don't go with us, that's fine. You're still going to actually see the process, how we do it for our clients, and you'll also get to see a lot of credit that's available. And with us, you're working with business advisors. You're not alone. When you have questions, when you have problems, when you're communicating with me, you're communicating with our team. We're helping you along the way so you never get stuck. You get a year with our business advisors. And as I'm going to show you, we've got a ton of vendor, store, and cash credit sources that you'll actually get. This is the problem with business credit. This is it. People just don't know how to get it. They don't know where to go to get it. They might know Staples offers business credit, but they don't know when to apply for Staples or what Staples requirements are. They know vendor credit's what they need, but they don't know where to go to get approved when they have none, or who will apply them, or what the requirements are. Well, we do all that for you. We decode all that for you. And we give you the free DUNS number, so you never pay D&B credibility. We give you Experience Smart Business, so you don't even need to pay for credit monitoring, because it's part of our system. And that $300 a year that you're going to pay for 411, that's free with us as well. So just working with us, you're saving over $2,000 that if you try to do this on your own, you're going to have to pay. You've got to have credit monitoring. You've got to get with 411. You don't have to pay for the DUNS. You can find a way around that, but getting the 411 and Experian is still going to be over $1,000. So all in all, you're getting about $2,100 worth of servicing. And the best part is we work with business credit and financing as well. So we actually offer all legitimate types of financing. So if you have cash flow, if you do have collateral, if you do have good credit or a good credit partner, we offer all kinds of financing. Whether you have good or bad credit, we've got options, even private money, SBA loans up to like $20 million or down as low as $10,000. We work with people that usually can't get approved at banks. And you have your own finance officer, which I can't believe didn't exist before we got here. I mean, you have an accountant, you have an attorney, but if you need money, do you have somebody right now you can call that works with every type of legitimate funding, that negotiates the terms, that knows how to get you approved, that's kind of like your middle person that helps get it all done without you paying them a dime to do it? That's what our finance officers actually do. So that way you actually get access to business credit financing, and you actually get access to our financing officers, which is pretty cool. And before I do that, I'll just actually, and I'm almost done, so I'll actually come in here and show you a little bit of exactly what I'm talking about. So this is our actual system for building business credit. And it basically comes with two main components. Our actual finance qualifier, which is where you'll get financing. You go through, you fill out what's a simple blueprint, and then we tell you immediately all the financing that you qualify for. It integrates with underwriting guidelines from tremendous amounts of sources and programs, so you can get all the available business financing in one place, which is pretty cool. But this is actually how you build business credit. This is our business credit builder. And I want to show you this just so you know that we follow our own advice. So you'll see everything here streamlined. It's simple. It's all short videos. And remember, we talked about step one, the foundation. Here's how we walk you through it. Step one, the entity, the address, the phone, the website, everything you need to do, you can actually do right from here, including getting your EIN number. If you don't have a business address, we have discounts on all these type of companies we work with. You get your number listed with 411 at absolutely no cost right here. And all you have to actually do is just come here and say, yes, I want my number listed. Do you want it listed? Yes, submit it. And just by doing that, we'll do it right away for you. And just so you know, we pay for this. We pay a lot of money to list yourself to do it. You could pay $300 a year as well, but it's part of it with us. So you don't actually even have to do that. So everything about setting up your business credibly, we do right here. What you might not know is that you have a business, you have a bank credit score as well. It's called your bank rating. We walk you through that too. And again, it's all done through really short, simple videos, usually 3 to 6 minutes that kind of map out everything for you and teach you everything you need to know along the way. So it's really streamlined. You're working with our business advisors through the process. You can come in and get discounts on your actual business credit reports with all 3 reporting agencies, and you can also fix inaccuracies right through our system. So it actually includes business credit repair. By one click, you can access business credit repair with the 3 reporting agencies and actually fix your business credit, which is pretty cool. And again, we teach you how your business credit reports work with all 3 reporting agencies. We help you get access and pay a discount on monitoring if you do want to pay. You don't actually need to pay just because we have this Experian integration. So remember all those things I showed you with Walmart and Pilot, Flying J, and I showed you some with actually our clients and how many trade lines they have on their Experian reports. Well, we do all that right through this step. So it integrates with Experian, takes a minute to pop up, but you can actually type in your name and it will tell you exactly how many reports you have and give you details on your credit report. So the nice thing about this is you don't need to pay for credit monitoring. Credit monitoring is about $600 a year. You don't have to pay for it because right through our suite, we integrate with Experian without you paying anything at all. So you can see how many trade lines you have. Do you have a credit profile? Do you have a plus or a credit profile established? So this is all the information you need to build business credit without actually having to pay for it, which is pretty cool. That's all part of our finance suite as well. And then in step one, we dive into more of those vendor accounts. These are the accounts you can actually get right here to actually start building your business credit. We talked about a lot of these accounts right here, and we walk you through. We tell you the order of accounts to apply for because this is the bread and butter. If you don't know where to apply or what their underwriting requirements are, you won't get approved. But you can see in our system, we map out the exact underwriting requirements. You can apply right through our actual system. We tell you who they report to, the terms they offer, all of that type of information is available. And again, you saw some, but I mean, here's just some more of the accounts that we're adding. We're about to add 60 more sources in here. Racetrack, Sunoco, Exxon. These are all just gas cards. Sears, Lowe's, Dell, Amazon, Tractor Supply, Walmart, Staples, and more. Best Buy. And those are just some. So again, we not only provide you access to know everybody that will give you business credit, but as well as that, these are cash credit cards. Remember we talked about the cash credit cards? We also give you the underwriting guidelines for all of them. So you'll know exactly what it takes to get approved. You never actually need to leave our system to actually get approved for any of this. And again, don't forget this includes all aspects of financing as well. So that being said, I'm about ready to wrap up here just because I want one more slide to actually show you, and then we will get wrapped up because I have got to move on to another webinar here. So again, as I said, you're not alone. You know, with us, if you do choose to work with us, we give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's pretty simple. Look, we don't want you to be a client if you don't want to be a client. If you don't like working with our team, you don't like our technology, you don't think this is for you, we're going to give you your money back. It's that simple. And we also are going to give you a guarantee that you're going to get at least $50,000 in business credit financing through the system, or we'll continue to work with you until you do. Okay, that doesn't mean you're going to come in and get a $50,000 credit line immediately. I just mapped out exactly what to expect. You're going to get vendor credit first, store credit, then cash credit. But we are very good at what we do, and we guarantee it. So again, even if you're not happy for any reason the first month, we're going to give you your money back, no questions asked. And we've got really affordable. As a matter of fact, you're going to pay less to us than you're going to pay trying to do this on your own. Remember, I told you it was going to cost $2,000 plus to do this on your own. We can do it for you less than you're ever going to pay to even do it on your own. So you get the advisor support, all the financing, your finance officer for 5 years, you get our technology, you get it all, and it's cheaper than you're ever going to try to pay on your own trying to do it. I can't make things free for you, like 411, paying for credit monitoring. That's the stuff you have to pay for on your own. And you got to remember, credit monitoring and 411 are $900 a year for you on the minimum side. With us, you get those without paying them for them indefinitely. So it saves you a ton of money. And again, as part of your attendance, we're also going to give you a really big discount. I'm not even going to talk about how much that is because I didn't plan on doing this. I literally put these slides together 20 minutes before this started, but we'll do it through today and tomorrow. If you're through the live event, all you have to do is just get in touch with us. Here it is, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. And you can talk to our team. Hey, they'll even do a free consultation with you. They'll schedule a free consultation. They'll spend 30 minutes. They'll pull up your experience, smart business data, tell you how many trade lines you have now. They'll even help you access your Dun Bradstreet credit report, talk to you about that, teach you how to read it, go through it. All of that's free with us. Okay, so we'll definitely do a free consult to talk to you more about business credit. And again, if you're interested in working with us, we make it super affordable, risk-free with a guarantee. All you have to do is just let us know. 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. There's our info again, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. Again, look, my goal is that you came out of this with a lot more information than you had before you came in. So whether you work with us or you don't work with us, that's okay. I want you to know business credit exists, know the steps to get it, and now you do so you can start the process, start building business credit on your own. If you want to find an easier, cheaper way to do it with the support, we'd love to have you too. We'd love to talk to you more about that. Feel free to reach out to us. Let us know. 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. You can also check out our main website as well, creditsuite.com. Thank you, everybody, very much for taking the time to work or to join the show today. I'm actually about a minute late to my next presentation, so I don't have time for questions, but I promise you that if you reach out to us, we'll answer your questions. Sometimes after a webinar, you see we have about 100 attendees today. Our phone lines are a little bit jammed. So if that's the case, don't worry. If you don't get us and you leave a voicemail, we'll call you right back right away. But again, look forward to working with you. Even if we don't work together, make sure that you get started right away. Start taking these steps so you can start building your business credit. Thanks, everybody, so much for taking the time to attend today. Hope you all have a great day.